toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAB.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Your biggest slowdown this morning is on I-35 northbound at Wells Branch Parkway. A crash blocks off the two right lanes and the entrance ramp. Just the left lane scoots by here, and you're backed up all the way from Breaker Lane, causing just under 45 minutes of backup. There's also a crash on the service road of 183A northbound at Lakeline. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
In 20628.
Electrical problems are a warning. Flickering lights, warm switches, bulbs burning out too soon all need attention. I trust Abacus licensed electricians. Their years of experience make an electrical problem no problem. No wonder they say Abacus. You can count on us.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you.
You're not recording
today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety or price or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider.
I don't know
website for details.
why I like fish. Like when I
Want to
was
boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
On a recent podcast, a well-respected business leader said the best companies are the ones that solve problems in the market. Well, consider this. Movie industry cover around $48,000 today. That's double where they were in 2010, and they far outpace wage increases. Affordability is a problem, and with talks of tariffs and other noise, customers are looking for a solution, and that solution is affordable monthly payments. Some banks have dealt with this by extending financing terms up to 84, even 96 months. In fact, over 20% of auto loans today are 7 years long. This is why more clients are considering leasing than any other time in recent history. Apple Leasing has thousands of active clients on the road right now, and many of them are repeat or were referred. We have experts that specialize in solving the high payment problem with the Easy Lease. No money down, payment significantly lower than time. Why wouldn't you call Apple Leasing at 346-9977 or go to appleleasing.com?
Do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
You can put it in there and just shoot me a text.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, celebrating the incredible impact of public school educators. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life who's gone above and beyond for their students to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Get all the info and nominate a teacher who goes the extra mile today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
From the audio-visual consultation, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the number one preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, Kickoff. Good morning, Kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso, San Antonio, Leander, and Silsbee, Texas. This is the morning kickoff with the world's strongest man and Hardball, Hardge. Hardge is on vacation right now, and we have filling in for him, Eric Henry from Horns 247 Sports. Good morning.
Austin, Texas, good morning. Mark Henry, good morning. My man Marcus Spears holding everything down behind the scenes. Good morning. Fellas, they messed around and let us get to Friday. Can you believe?
We made it.
We made
it.
Mama, we made it. They messed around, let us get to Friday. And what a jam-packed Friday show we have for y'all here on the morning kickoff, Sports Radio, AM 1300. The Zone. Texas football has been the theme all week.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so glad that football is back, It's like medicine. We've been in hibernation, with no football. And, basketball actually did a good job of spelling out the season and expanding it out so there wasn't such a lull. But to have this time all be about football it just makes me back happy again.
Mark, real quick, I didn't even think about what you just said there. And I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know where your basketball allegiances are. But for me, the basketball season didn't feel as short because it was new blood, right? We had OKC and Indiana. That's a good point on your part. It didn't feel like, all right, it's rinse and repeat. I'm watching another Steph, LeBron, et cetera, final, Giannis, et cetera. So you're right. It did stretch us out, give us sports fans a little more juice to head into the summer. But
most definitely,
football is indeed here. Still not quite that click-clack out there on the 40 acres, but we're getting there. Hey, Mark.
It take time. Take time.
The positive is during our viewing window yesterday, nobody lost a lunch. So that's a positive. That's a step up from the first day where, you got to get the body acclimated to those 100-degree temps. But the Texas Longhorns were back out there on the practice fields. And listen, I'm just going to kind of pick up where we left off from yesterday's show in terms of, and I'm not saying it's all sunshine and roses. There's still plenty of kinks to get worked out, plenty of things to figure out between now and August 30, 29 days till the season opener for the Texas Longhorns. But Mark, I'm telling you, man, and if you remember, I said that I was super curious to watch the offense because I felt that defense would hit the ground running. I felt that defense would already be in place. I'm not saying it's a finished product yet, but the athleticism is off the charts, Mark. I honestly, I'll give it to you on this, and this is a message for you and for Longhorn fans. I can't wait for y'all to get your first set of eyes on this year's Texas team, and I want you to view it through the prism of where Steve Sarkisian and company started at 5-7. Because I wasn't here for 5-7, but I'm telling you right now, this team from a size, athletic, playmaking, just numbers perspective, Mark, it looks like a national title contender.
You are preaching to the choir because I've been saying that Texas cupboard was full. They had at least 2 or 3 people at every position that could play anywhere in the country. And, talking to insiders like you who are on the sidelines at practices, I talked to a couple other guys yesterday, and the running backs, they said, look like defensive linemen. And that's the thing that I told you, the thing that's going to help Texas the most is a powerful running game. Arch Manning needs to be able to lean on a running game so the play action works. And from what I'm hearing from you and Anwar's and the Chip Browns and all the guys that I respect in the radio and sports media world have told me, Mark, these running backs look like tight ends with speed. And that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because again, I've talked about back when I used to cover Group of Fives. You're right. CJ Baxter, Jarrett Gibson, Christian Clark, those look like linebackers at that level, like elite linebackers, defensive ends. And that tells you the difference between, I should even say just Group of Five, Mark. There's some Power Four teams, some Power Four teams in the SEC, the Mississippi States and Vandy's of the world that have DNs and linebackers that are the size of these Texas running backs. I'm going to flip it to the wide receiver room because I know, Mark, and first off, before I even get to that, let me just say thank you for the opportunity to do this show all week with you. It's been a pleasure. But in doing the show with you, I've gotten a chance to kind of glean that I know something you respect is confidence. Something you respect is saying it with your chest. And a guy that I don't want to say we haven't talked about him a ton, but he kind of goes a little under the radar is DeAndre Moore. And Mark, I want you to hear this sound from yesterday's availability when DeAndre Moore is talking about not only the team goals, but his own personal goals for the 2025 season. Here's the sound of DeAndre Moore following yesterday's.
First and foremost, I want to win a natty. I think we've got to the doorstep 2 years in a row, too many for my liking. So I want to win a national championship. We got short at an SEC championship. I want to win the SEC championship. As far as personal, I want the Texas touchdown record. I want at least 1,200 yards, and I want to win the Kickoff.
Whoa.
He won it all.
Whoa, say it with your chest. But see, that's the thing. When you walk and you're like kind of subconscious about the room you walk in and you think, oh, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. You know what a coach wants? A coach wants you to be able to walk in with such confidence and such willingness to work that he doesn't have to worry whether or not his team is up. Every coach's dream is to have guys that push the buttons of the other players so they don't have to. And being in team sports, I always found that there were one or two alpha guys that they spoke for us. They spoke for the group. They spoke for the team. And they also spoke for the coaches. Coach shouldn't have to tell you to do something. You should want to do it. And when you hear DeAndre talk, you know that he is an alpha guy. And he's saying, I want to do this. I want to win the national championship. What do we got to do that? And that makes everything else fall into place.
Marcus, what's just, your thoughts when you hear that? Because, I'm not going to lie. DeAndre Moore, I always respected and enjoyed his Cali swag, his confidence, but just as another layperson, as a fan, your thoughts when you hear someone say, hey, I want the natty, I want the SEC title, I want the Blitnikoff, I want everything we missed out on last year.
It reminds me of the movie Scarface when it says the world is yours.
Wow.
Simple as that.
And Texas can do that. Like, we always say, well, Arch, it's not just about Arch. Arch is a very important piece, and you want to have a quarterback that knows a system and that fits a system, but it's a team sport. Like, Arch can't get off without the running game. The running game can't get off without the offensive line. And you want your offense to have more possessions than the opposing team. So the defense has to take the ball away. So all of these factors, and your coaches cannot fall asleep because you have talent, because you can be out-coached. So you have to have people that have a plan and a strategy together. And, there's a book called The Art of War. And The Art of War talks about the rules of engagement. And when you have your team or you have your warriors so prepared, so mentally focused that they're telling you what the plan should be, you win. And I feel like that's what we get. Me and Hardge, we've said it multiple times. It sounds like everybody is like a recording because they say the same things. How they're bought in, how they love the way Coach Sarkisian addresses them and talks to them like adults, that they don't call them kids. That's something that's important. I don't as a young man, I don't want to be called a kid. Don't call me boy, don't call me son, none of that. Men, this is what we have to do today.
And you know what? I want to piggyback on something you guys were discussing earlier, because me and Eric talked about this off air earlier this week. This could be the deepest running back room Texas has had since 2005.
Wow. And that's saying a lot, because that running room that they had guys, they had speed guys, they had guys that were screen and tunnel guys, they had a banger, a guy that just mashed it up in, and then they had a guy that was kind of a third down, catch the ball out the backfield, run the out. Texas used, during that time, they threw the ball out of the backfield like a running play. Just swing it out there and let the guy get the edge. And I think that Texas could do that right now.
No doubt about it. The cupboard is far from bare. It is full. And we will see how it turns out on the 40 acres. But we will talk more football. Going to go to the NFL in a moment. Morning Kickoff. We're just getting started on AM 1300, The Zone.
Like the tower burnt orange.
Rounder to short, backhanded by Good, fires to first. Texas wins the national championship.
Texas softball has won their first national championship in program history.
The Longhorns are on top of the college softball world.
1300 The Zone, the home of national champion Texas softball.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
The right lane is blocked off by a stalled vehicle going northbound on Mopac around Windsor Road, and the big delay is over on I-35 northbound this morning. A crash at Wells Branch Parkway blocks off the two right lanes and the entrance ramp. It's causing a 45-minute backup, and it has you all tied up starting from Breaker Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
It's almost time for Kickoff. Brought to you by Bud Light.
Breaks a tackle, 30, turns down the sidelines. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Listen to every play, every touchdown, every win on 1300 The Zone.
Fires for the end zone. It's intercepted. Kicked off. This ball game is over.
Today's countdown is
29 days.
Presented by Bud Light all season long on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ice Cube and the Big Three are coming live from Houston this Saturday starting 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS and Vice. Physical and fiercely competitive 3-on-3 basketball. With only 2 weeks to go, Miami, Detroit, Dallas, and Boston are tied for first place, and LA and Chicago are knocking on the door a game out. Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Corey Brewer, Greg Monroe, Glenn Rice Jr., Gary Payton, Nick Young, Montrezl Harrell, and more fight to win the Dr. J Championship Trophy. Big Three live on CBS and Vice this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. and time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Need space that's designed to last? Mueller Inc. delivers pre-engineered steel buildings customized for your style. From garages and workshops to barns, warehouses, even airplane hangars. Our bolt-together buildings are designed to last decades with proper installation and maintenance. Designed for strength, engineered for Texas. Visit us today at any of our locations across the Austin area, including Marble Falls and Spicewood. Or go to MuellerInc.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
It is the morning kickoff here on AM 1300 The Zone. Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports, pinch hitting one final day for Hardball Hardge. World's strongest man, Mark Henry, of course, with me. And Mark, football is indeed back. We're going to make our way from the 40 acres over to the NFL. And I don't want to steal all your thunder because I know that you got a little something for us in the world's strongest take that came out of that Hall of Fame game. But just got to ask you your general thoughts. You know, I can lead off first, give you a little time here. That Hall of Fame game, I know some people don't like it because it's only third stringers. It's only guys who are going to be, you know, working at Jiffy Lube in 4 weeks. I never liked that, Mark. Even going back to being a kid, man. Like I always just, that first Hall of Fame game, I didn't care if it was, you know, walk-on free agent rookies trying to get a job. It's football. It's guys in pads, in NFL jerseys, you know, no disrespect to any of the other leagues and in some of the spring leagues, but it's guys in NFL jerseys running around trying to make a team. I always just get that warm and fuzzies inside whenever I see the Hall of Fame game, Mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the time of the year. Like we're coming in, we're seeing the college football practices, we see the NFL training camps start to kick off, and then you see the Hall of Fame game, and of course you see the guys that's second, third, fourth team guys that are not going to be on the roster. But that's fine with me because you get to see the structure of the offense, the defense, and the way that you do things. And I respect the guy that's going to be working at Jiffy Lube. I respect the guy that got an opportunity, but his real thing is he works at Home Depot, or he's got his own business, or he's just trying to live the dream. I respect every one of those guys because you need an opportunity. And, you know, they always like that commercial that says that talks about college sports. And it says all of these people that play this sport will be a professional in something that may not be this sport that they're playing. That's the nature of everybody professional sports is lightning striking and twice in the same spot. You know, like, I mean, there's only 644 NFL spots. 644 for the, I mean, 53 men on each team. And then the alternates, the guys that are in the training camp and the practice squads and stuff, maybe double it a little bit. But really, there's only 644 core people. That's a small room, Eric. You can get those people on a basketball court. And that just tells you how small and how incredible the opportunity is. But I'm so excited, man. I love it so much when the season starts because I just love sports. I just love football. And, you know, there's a lot of the conversations about CTE and other different things. And all the athletes say, if I could do it all over again, I would still play because I'm good at it, one, and it makes me feel good. And if I lose 10 years off my life, or I end up in a wheelchair, or I got to walk with a cane, then so be it. My family is going to benefit from this sport that we play and love. So these guys, it's a great time of year, and all of these guys, they sign up for it, man. So we're back at it, and I'm excited about where it's going to go.
And this is what I got to say about the hype coming into the Hall of Fame game on a year basis. What do a doctor says when they give you new medication? They always tell you to take small dosage. So this is the way I look at it when it comes to the Hall of Fame game. It's a small dosage of what ails your pain, which is the lack of football and the fact that football is starting and the hype train is about to get rolling.
Right.
It's a small dose. But like you said, it just gives you something, give you some comfort. That's all, you know. Just a little something. And also, just to kind of put a cap on the conversation around, you know, some of these guys who likely aren't going to be in the league, 4 or 5 weeks. Who doesn't love a good underdog story, Mark? Marcus, who doesn't love a good underdog story? So go ahead, Mark.
You know, not only the underdog story, but the story of opportunity. Like, we talk about America as a whole. You know, you want an opportunity. They call this the land of opportunity. Sports is the same way. You come into it as a little kid and you realize, you know, sometimes people don't grow. I've seen so many guys that were 5'5" that were great ball players. 5'9" linebacker. I mean, we had that win. You might, Eugene Seal, you had the exceptions to the rule, Zach Thomas. Every now and then it works. But that's one out of hundreds of thousands of guys. Like, the opportunity is the most important thing. What you do with the opportunity is where the tire meets the road.
And we don't know who that story, that guy that's going to come out of nowhere. Think about it like this here. Terrell Davis came out of nowhere back in the days. Arian Foster came out of nowhere. Just guys who probably was not predicted to make their rosters, not even drafted, and they make the roster and become either superstars and Hall of Famers. That happens all the time in the NFL. That's what type of league it is.
No doubt about it. So yeah, coming off of last night's game, San Diego Chargers defeated the Detroit Lions. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. What did you think about Hampton at running back? He only had like a couple of carries, but he looked the part. I wish he would have kind of, put a little bit more lean into that line. It looked like he was trying not to get his prom dress dirty.
That's a great line. Mark, I'm going to steal that one. That's a great line. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to steal that one. I will credit you when I steal it in writing, but I'm going to steal that one. The thing with him and a lot of the backs out of his elk, it feels, and I think, Mark, you alluded to this a little bit when we talked about him in terms of what rookies we're wanting to see. Does he kind of fit that Saquon Barkley-esque like mold build, right? A thicker build with a dynamic kind of ability. So that's definitely kind of my early impressions, kind of carrying over from North Carolina. We'll be intrigued to see how he's used in that offense. But no, that definitely is a good call out, no doubt. Go ahead, Mark.
A lot of these guys, they don't want to get injured. Not in the first game or a game that doesn't count. That's why you usually see a lot of veterans kind of hold out of the preseason games and not playing at all. I mean, you look at their sideline; they had about 6-8 guys that were in dress clothes.
Yeah,
like they didn't even dress suit up for the game. So that tells you all you need to know.
Mark, there was one more topic that I want to get to you real quick in terms of talking about it is, of course, it is Hall of Fame weekend, Hall of Fame induction. These guys will get their busts, their rings, and we're talking to a WWE Hall of Famer who proudly sports his WWE Hall of Fame ring in Mark Henry. Mark, is there one player in your time watching sports, doesn't have to be football, but one player who either hasn't gotten the distinction of being a Hall of Famer or just didn't get that ring, came close, but didn't get that ring that you wish, man, I wish they could experience the feeling that you know of being honored that way?
You know what? There's some guys that have gone in the Hall of Fame, but they still didn't get the ring.
Right.
And the guys that didn't get the championship, I wish Charles Barkley in basketball would have won a ring. I wish that Patrick Ewing would have won a ring. Football, Barry Sanders, man. As good as Barry Sanders was, I wish that he would have had the distinction of being a champion. Randy Moss, at wide receiver, was a guy that he did. I mean, Randy Moss was better than the Randy Moss that was on the video game. And on the video game, you could just throw it near him and he would catch it and score a touchdown. That's how good Randy Moss was.
For you, Warren Moon.
Warren Moon is one. I mean, but you know what? Like when you start talking about quarterbacks, there's a few. Jim Kelly played in 4 Super Bowls, man.
So close.
Damn, he was close. And I wish that he would have gotten one. I never was a Bills fan, but I was a Jim Kelly fan because he did everything he could do on his part, but it just didn't happen.
I'll sneak my 2 in real quick. LaDainian Tomlinson, and of course, just tough with Dan Marino. Those are my 2.
Oh.
Morning Kickoff, AM 1300 The Zone. We'll be back in a moment.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
There's an accident on Loop 360 southbound before 2222 at Wallace Drive, as well as a stalled vehicle in the right lane on Mopac northbound at Windsor Road. There's also a crash and a hazmat spill on I-35 northbound at Wells Branch Parkway. It's the reason speeds are very slow from Breaker Lane, causing a 45-minute delay. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting saber-tooth zip ride or pan for gemstones. Take the wild cave tour or the hidden passages tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns, Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is coming back to Las Vegas, September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today. AXS.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like you know to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Cowboys rookie corner Savone Ravel Jr. suffered a setback in his rehab from a torn ACL, unlikely to be ready by the season opener. Happy homecoming. Carlos Correa back with the Astros as they reacquired him from the Twins for a minor league pitcher in cash. Correa agreed to play third for Houston. Astros open a weekend set against the Red Sox tonight in Boston. I'm Ron Tomas.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 or older. Age and eligibility vary by jurisdiction.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Okay, we have 2 must-hear interviews. First, Aaliyah Kateb. She joins Tama Daddario, and she talks about her Love Island journey, from her situationship, the producer drama, and life after the villa. Then, on Drama Queens, Stephen Coletti, remember him? Stops by to spill all the One Tree Hill secrets, from the steamy scenes and the off-screen romances. It's all happening. You don't want to miss this.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, the main event of the evening for your entertainment and pleasure.
Mike, you have to be so combative.
Now, I probably wouldn't say this in front of white folks, but in front of y'all, I'm gonna speak my mind.
He has emotional anger issue problem.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys?
I'm Mike Lowry. Michael!
Oh, that's funny.
Michael! AM 1300, The Zone, morning kickoff. And man, what a smile came over my face to hear that song. That is Mark and Marcus. As a kid, I mean, I remember I was 8, 9 years old when that album dropped. I had my older brothers, older cousins listen to that. One of the first albums I remember listening to all the way through. Jay-Z. Oh, man, what an album. Because it is time, Mark. Hardge Knocks Life.
Let's go. Man. Let's go. And he's not here with us, but you representing him. So let's have it.
And this is what I feel strongly about Marcus is. These keyboard warriors, man. Listen, you know, Mark did an excellent job. Mark did an excellent job in the previous segment talking about sports and kind of the camaraderie, and it brings us together, right? You know, it's things that sports fans we all look forward to, the things that we just enjoy. And I'm all here, Mark and Marcus, for, you know, some spit talk. You know, we'll do it that way, right? I love a little back and forth, a little barbershop talk. You got to have that in sports. That's what makes sports fun. But there are lines, and a model that I live by is disrespect will not be tolerated in any form. In any form.
No,
it won't be tolerated. Mark, I'm going to give you an example, right, of something that happened to me very recently. I had someone who didn't like something that I wrote about Texas football, and that's fine. That comes with territory, right? I work a job that's public, that comes with the territory.
Yeah. Say it with your chest.
But I had someone on a social media app say, oh, man, I wish I could beat up Eric Henry for these dumb takes. Not on Horns 24/7. Tweet this publicly behind their little avatar of something that's not their face, their little AI avatar, because of course they don't have enough, fortitude to put their real face out there. And fellas, I have a simple reply to people who get that aggressive when it comes to how they feel. I said, I'm local. If that's how you feel, I'm local. I'm not another city. I'm not in another state. I'm local.
He's straight up saying, come see me.
And then the person
catch me outside. How about that?
And then the person tweeted back, oh, what are you trying to do? You think I'm dumb enough to talk about beating you up on a public forum? What type of undercover cop are you? I said, no. I simply said, I'm local. That's how you feel. And you said all that with your chest. You can come find me. There's a media entrance outside Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. I'm there 3.5 hours before every game. I'm local. It's as simple as that. And then again, it was back and down. Oh, you're making this more than it is. These keyboard warriors, Mark, man, what says you? So I'm sure you've dealt with them.
Well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you are always going to have people that are going to disagree with you. Get used to it. The people that challenge you, if they challenge you via message, smoke signal, fax, email, whatever else, the means of communications, they have zero intent. A man will walk to you and say, hey, you're Eric Henry, right? Yeah. Hey, man, I'm so-and-so. I'm the guy that you were talking about. I don't agree with your take. And then you can debate with that man to man, face to face. Right. That's how you do it. And then if they say, well, I mean, I don't want you to say that about me no more. And then you gotta be the guy to say, or what? Or what?
It never ceases.
And that's how it's done. That's the way men operate. The cowards are gonna sue you.
Right.
When you punch them in the face. So you can't really put your hands on nobody no more. Man, I would be locked up for a long time if I beat up everybody that says something bad about me. But I look at it like this. If I did something that made you feel so emotional that you had to put something on paper or put something out there in the atmosphere that was aggressive and negative, I already won. I own you already. So take that with you for the rest of your life. These people that come for you and they don't come for you in person, they're absorbed and ate up with you being better than them, and they know it.
And
on some man stuff.
And you know what, E? Your boy Chip Brown used to say this quote here in Austin all the time, and it's from Ric Flair. If someone ain't hating you all the time, you probably ain't doing something right. So that tells me you doing something right.
You're doing something right, sir. That is so true. And I tell you what, man, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man, to quote Ric Flair again. Like, be better than me. And then I'll say, you know what? You were right. But until then, get on out of here with that alley cat coat wearing, hush puppy shoe wearing, don't make me go there. Get out of here with that.
Man, can't say it better than that, Mark. And another reason why I felt like it's appropriate to have this conversation with you is because we've all seen those clips. We're wrestling fans, the three of us. Mark, of course, a former wrestler. We've all seen those clips of guys who hit the ring, right? Because they get so fired up at what happened. And then they get under the ropes. They stand up and like, this was a bad idea. Mark,
I shouldn't have done this.
Are you talking about the traditional fan trying to run up in the ring?
Correct.
Oh yeah, it don't go well for them when they get beat up by the referee.
The referees are usually pretty tough too. But I remember we were in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and Kane was having a match. I can't remember who he had the match against right now, but it was in a cage. A guy climbed the cage. Wow. You'll find it on the internet. Okay. The guy climbed the cage, got in the ring with Kane, and hit Kane in the back. And Kane was like, what is going on? And turned around and saw it was a guy that came out of the crowd. He stomped this dude. I'm telling you, it looked like a movie. It looked like Friday. It looked like Debo hit over and took a. It was one of the worst drubbings in the history of whoopings. And I don't advise nobody to go into the field of play. We've seen people go on the football field and football players just clean their clock, and then the security grabs them and drags them off. Like, don't do that, fans. I mean, you know what, man? I'm a fan of sports too, but you just, in the words of Ron Simmons, which The Rock took the words from Ron Simmons, know your role. Know your role, guys.
There you have
what a good Hardge Knock life, man. Come on, Eric. You're killing it.
Oh, man, there you have it. So just a little message out there to keyboard warriors, man. You know, just think twice.
Keep the peace.
Keep the peace. Simple as that. Morning Kickoff, AM 1300 The Zone. We're flying strong. We'll be back in a moment.
So good.
The voice of the Horns. Craig Way on 1300 The Zone. Weekdays at 2.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
There's an accident on Loop 360 southbound before 2222 at Wallace Drive, as well as a stalled vehicle in the right lane on Mopac northbound at Windsor Road. There's also a crash and a hazmat spill on I-35 northbound at Wells Branch Parkway. It's the reason speeds are very slow from Breaker Lane, causing a 45-minute delay. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's time
Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-813-4011. That's 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
After a trip to the 2025 Women's Final Four, an SEC championship in their first season, and sold-out crowds at the Moody Center, Texas women's basketball is on fire. And season tickets for 2025-26 are on sale now, starting at just $100. Longhorn Nation helped deliver the first undefeated home season in 22 years. Now it's your turn to be part of the action. Bring the energy, bring the pride, bring the Texas fight all season long. Lock in your seats today at TexasLonghorns.com.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder.
Ask the questions that I would want to know as a you, because that's how you get the best interview out of somebody.
He goes, "Oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer,"
and became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
I
We
think
got a lot
that
in common, you know what I mean?
here
We
to
fathers,
save souls by getting people out of prison.
People think that
Open your
if
free
people are different
iHeartRadio app,
because they
search The
different
Girlfriends
colors.
Jailhouse
Everybody
Lawyer,
got the
and
same,
listen
man.
now.
Everybody want to have a nice house, go on vacation, be with their family, have a good life. It's very simple.
Now you want to be remembered and appreciated.
That's my thing.
Being appreciated more than being remembered.
Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Scary, your father's doing big things. I love you.
It is the morning kickoff here on AM 1300 The Zone. World's strongest man, Mark Henry. Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports. Pinch hitting for Hardball Hardge, one final day on this Friday. Marcus Spears on the ones and twos.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I see Marcus definitely enjoying himself for that little tune he played, bringing us back out of break right there.
Hey, man, everybody got to dance a little jig every now and then.
You have to. You have to. Before we dive into a little bit of baseball, got to give y'all your final keyword because I know you've been listening all week. You've been listening all week. For a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Ghost August 14th at Moody Center, make sure if you're going to enter, you got to download the iHeartRadio app, search AM 1300 The Zone, tap the red microphone, leave us a message with the keyword you heard on the radio, and the final keyword is Empire. Don't think I need to spell that one for you. It is
sure about that, Bub?
Empire. Hey, man, look, there's plenty of pop culture references that have Empire, okay? So
yeah, come on, Marcus.
That is your final keyword. It is Empire to win a pair of tickets to see Ghost August 14th at Moody Center. There you have it, fellas. Want to dive into a little bit of MLB talk because, of course, the Houston Astros made a deal. Marcus Spears is Houston Astros. Made a deal to bring back Carlos Correa to the Houston Astros. And this time of year, Mark, it's always weird. I know we talked about this earlier in the week, and I'm glad we're going to get a chance to get to it now. Trade deadline in baseball is unlike anything other because sometimes you see guys getting traded mid-game, guys getting traded between double headers. And I talked with you about this earlier this week, Mark, about the pitcher was traded from Baltimore to Toronto in between a double header, where he literally was suited up for one team the first game. And then in between the doubleheader, he's having to walk out to the bullpen. His old teammates are giving him a hard time. And then he goes and strikes out two out of three of his former teammates. Just incredible. And then, Mark, I sent you a clip. You didn't have a chance to check it out. No worries, of a player getting traded from the Tampa Bay Rays to the New York Yankees. On the flip side, just the emotion, the raw emotion, the way I can say it. This guy, like, you saw, Mark, a player, a teammate of his, who came back to the dugout and was like, "Where are you going?" And you guys see him mouth the words, "I got traded." And his teammate's like, "What?" And the emotion there. Mark, isn't that just the most bizarre thing?
Yeah, it is. And even last night, there was so much that happened in the baseball world with the trades. You had a player that still had his belt and shoes on from the team that he played with the day before, because the team didn't have his size in shoes and belt. And I'm like, what? So I mean, I would have taken some tape and put it around the belt, so you couldn't tell that it was a belt for another team. But that's just me. That's just me.
And one of the things that I find fascinating, I think it speaks to the athletic mindset, the athlete mindset, is the average person. You don't go and you're working for State Farm and you get traded to Allstate, down the road, right? And then you got to be like, man, I put in 10 years at State Farm that has traded me, right? The average person doesn't get traded from Target to Walmart, but that athlete mentality to be able to say, all right, I still got to lock in. Like the mid-game one is the one that I still got to be able to lock in.
And you don't even have time. You don't even have time to be emotional about it. And you know what, man? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, it's a business. And there's going to be change. There's going to be turnover. And, Chris Del Conte talked about that. The one constant in sports is change. There will be change. But that don't mean that you cannot be emotional, that you cannot have. I mean, I'm a Cowboy fan, and we talked about this not long ago. I wanted to quit being a Cowboy fan because I was just so tired of the disappointment by the ownership. But every time I thought about another team, it just kind of made me nauseous. And if that's the way that it really is, imagine how those guys feel. If I'm that way as a fan, how do they feel? Now I got to put on another jersey and go play against the team that I've loved and worked with and bled and sweated with these guys. It's got to be a really hard, hard decision. You just got to feel like really kind of off for a while.
The craziest thing I've seen was just last season when Danny Jansen was traded, and technically he played for both teams in the same game because it was a rain out, and when they finished the game, he played for the other team.
Yeah. And Marcus, I did want to ask you again, as I alluded to, your Houston Astros. The Astros are I believe got a 4.5 game lead on Seattle, 5.5 game lead on the Texas Rangers in the AL West. Marcus, how do you feel about Carlos Correa coming back home?
Oh, I'm just so excited. I didn't think it was actually possible. I thought, oh yeah, they just shooting a shot, seeing what happens. And then all of a sudden I'm talking to a guy at the getting my oil changed yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, they did it." I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?" The Astros got Correa, so you know what? Either he's going to play third or he's going to play second. It strengthens the defense, and we got another bat. Altuve can just focus on hitting. So you know what? It's all good with me.
Man, one of the things, Mark, I got to give it back to you in this realm. I was trying to toy around and be like, man, would that be the equivalent of getting traded from Raw to SmackDown? But it wouldn't, because it's the same company. It'd be the equivalent of 1998 Nation of Domination Mark Henry getting traded to WCW for who? And Mark, would you be upset if they? I mean, listen, I don't want to disrespect any wrestler, all right, but if they traded you for a wrestler you felt was under your value, right?
Made a trade for Lenny Lane.
I'm like, come on, man. I'm main event, man. You can't trade me for two of those guys.
You know,
come on, you at least trade me for like, Big Papa Pump or somebody.
Right, something, that
trade me for Booker T, man.
Right. Something at least, all right. You feel like, hey, I'm a commodity, right? You get traded for an underneath guy. You're like, hold on a second, I got
two future picks. Like, man, don't trade me for no picks. And cash consideration.
That's the one. Mark. You traded for cash consideration.
That's the worst. Oh my gosh.
Player to be named later.
Yeah, cap money. Cap money guy.
Cash considerations, player to be named later. That always is the one that gets me right there. And I love when the teams create the graphic, right? When what have we received in return? And they show a little bag of money. Right?
Yeah. I guarantee you that the fans that are listening to the show today, somebody, guys, if you're laughing, pull over. We don't want to endanger nobody.
Having a good time here. It is Morning Kickoff, AM 1300 Zone. Mark Henry, you are leaving us. My man, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with you all week, sir.
Brother, it was an honor, and I can't wait to be able to have you do it again.
There you have it. Morning Kickoff, AM 1300 The Zone.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included. So you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
We celebrate Fridays at Del Diamond with Friday Fireworks, presented by Bud Light. Watch the Round Rock Express light up the Texas sky with our spectacular post-game fireworks show every Friday home game. Visit roundrockexpress.com for tickets.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
On a recent podcast, a well-respected business leader said the best companies are the ones that solve problems in the market. Well, consider this. New vehicle transaction prices hover around $48,000 today. That's double where they were in 2010, and they far outpace wage increases. Affordability is a problem. And with talks of tariffs and other noise, customers are looking for a solution. And that solution is affordable monthly payments. Some banks have dealt with this by extending financing terms out to 84, even 96 months. In fact, over 20% of auto loans today are 7 years long. This is why more clients are considering leasing than any other time in recent history. Apple Leasing has thousands of active clients on the road right now, and many of them are repeat or were referred. We have experts that specialize in solving the high payment problem with the Easy Lease. No money down, payment significantly lower than buying, in terms that make sense. Why wouldn't you call Apple Leasing at 346-9977 or go to appleleasing.com?
You've got an app for music, an app for photos, maybe even one that helps you sleep. But only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket and lets you save your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts as presets. Get the free iHeartRadio app, the #1 app for radio.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
It is the morning kickoff here on AM 1300 The Zone. World's strongest man, Mark Henry, Hardball Hardge. Mark, got to go make that money. So I am flying solo, of course, Hardball Hardge, enjoying the final day of his well-deserved vacation, but still got my guy Marcus Spears holding everything down behind the scenes. And of course, if you missed the Craig Way show, which you shouldn't, but if you did, from 2 to 6, here on AM 1300 The Zone, you can always catch it. Listen to the Craig Way Show podcast, available on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Marcus, the way we open the show today, of course, I think is going to be the way a lot of shows are opened around here over the next 4 months with Texas football. And just kind of want to pick up where we left off in that first hour there. You know, a lot of the leaders, Marcus, the guys who, you know, have emerged, the guys who were shaped, who were molded by last year's 13-win team, 2023's 12-win team, molded by the Jalen Fords, the Tavondre Sweats, the Byron Murphys, the Jordan Whittingtons. You know, I mean, we heard DeAndre Moore in hour number 1 talking about his goals, right? To win a national championship, to win the SEC championship, to win the Biletnikoff. And I think about how he learned at the foot of a guy like a Jordan Whittington, right? Just the culture, the way that it's been passed down from kind of team to team. And this is where I'm going to ask you a question, Mark. Of course, Marcus, you being a Texan and you know, following this team, this program, you know, for your entire life. That's one of the things I think when you hear about the great programs, right? The USCs, when USC had its run in the 2000s, right? When Miami had its run in the 2000s, when, you know, I'll hopefully this doesn't get tomatoes thrown at me, but, you know, OU had a little bit of run in the 2000s, you know, Texas, when Vince Young came. One of the things I always remember hearing about those teams, Florida, right? The Tim Tebow, the Urban Meyer years, et cetera. The list goes on, is how it got passed down from team to team, right? That's how things continued on, is that culture, that mindset. It was a privilege to take the baton from those guys who laid the laid the foundation, and push it forward. Does that encourage you when you hear guys like DeAndre Moore? And we're going to toss in some sound in a second of guys like Ethan Burke and others talking about the culture. But first, does that encourage you when you hear guys who they're just picking up where the previous players left off, not just from an on-field perspective, but the drive, the mentality, the aspirations, Marcus?
That tells me that guys are learning not only how to play the game and how to play the game together, but they're learning how to be leaders on and off the field. And when you become leaders, it has to pass down, because pretty much when you see a leader and you're young and you start to pay attention to them, and you want to learn how they get there, and then you become a leader yourself. The chain only gets broken when either the leaders are not leading or the followers stop following.
And part of the reason I wanted to get Marcus's perspective, of course, I don't know if he said this on air, but I'll reveal, of course, him being a veteran, he understands chain of command, how things go. There you go, Marcus. From step.
Yeah, definitely chain of command. Because you're looking up to someone who experienced things that you haven't experienced yet. So as you climb, you learn, you pay attention, and that they will tell you, instead of, how they say listen, but sometimes you got to hear,
right?
Also, because if I said that backwards. You got to listen, not just hear. I said it backwards, but yeah, and that's the key, because sometimes people will tell you something and you don't know what it means. So long as that person is there, so when you ask the question, and you're not questioning the challenge, you're questioning to learn, and they're willing to teach. So now when you're the one that has to lead, you can pass that message on down, because now you understand not only what needs to be done, but why it needs to be done.
And that's a perfect segue into this sound we're going to play. This is defensive end Ethan Burke, who is fitting that whole thing, chain of command, coming down from a veteran leader. Of course, he was a starter in 2023, did not start last year, but got plenty of playing time with the emergence of Colin Simmons and Barron Sorrell. Now he's in his senior year, and he talks about his own expectations, the culture, and what he learned from Barron Sorrell. Here is Ethan Burke from yesterday's availability.
I think so. Yeah, I think I've had spurts where I've been elite, but just for me, just being consistent every time I step out on the field, just being the best version of myself.
What do you feel like you learned from Barron Sorrell by being around him for the last few years?
From Barron, such a great teammate and leader for me, a guy who I'm so grateful just to have, playing with and be on the other side and for a whole year. He just taught me work ethic, right? He's a guy who puts his head down, doesn't talk, he doesn't showboat, he's not flashy, and like the media may not love all that because he's not the most flashy guy, but he is a hard worker, and he's been such a consistent player for this program. And just to learn from him has been great. I couldn't have asked for a better, I guess you'd say, mentor.
You said
maybe has some of those other tendencies. What's it like being on the other side of him on the D-line? Yeah, Colin is just a great player and someone who's great to play off of for the interior guys and for me on the other end. And just communication, and he's upbeat, fun guy to be around. I've grown really close to him, so it's been outstanding.
A lot to chew on there. You heard about Ethan Burke talking about him having spurts, feeling he's had spurts where he's been elite, but now looking to put that together consistently. I will start there. I couldn't agree more, Marcus. Ethan Burke is a guy who I think he's the perfect edge player for this year's team. Maybe he wasn't the best edge player for, previous year's teams. And when I say not the best, I'm not saying that, he wasn't a good player, but I'm talking about in terms of fit, right? Because, last year, Barron Sorrell, of course, a much better player. It's the reason Barron Sorrell was drafted where he was. And I guess, maybe much is a little strong, but a more well-rounded player, right? Barron Sorrell, of course, with the Green Bay Packers, and of course, Colin Simmons. But this year, you're going to need a guy. You're going to need a guy, Marcus, who, yes, the interior defensive line, they'll do their job in run defense. They'll do their job in stuffing the run. But Colin Simmons, and Colin, to his credit, has said that he wants to play the run better as well. But if it's third and anything over 4, he's looking to pin his ears back and go rush the quarterback. If it's second and long, he's looking to go pin his ears back and rush the quarterback. You have a guy like Ethan Burke who is going to do all of the fundamentals right, set the edge, be an excellent run defender. But now if he can take his game to the next level, Marcus, that would be huge for Texas football. And one more thought, just hearing him talk about what he learned from Barron, right? Saying, Barron's not a guy who isn't the flashiest. And that's true. Barron Sorrell was never the most flashy guy. But you saw his value with Texas football. You saw an NFL veteran, a future 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year NFL vet, because he did everything the right way. He did everything well, always accountable, always in the right place. And those things matter, Marcus. So to tie the conversation all the way back together, I think this just spells, and it's like you heard me say before, I'm not saying it's all sunshine and roses, it's still early, but it just spells like this could be the start of something really special for Texas football this year, Marcus.
Yes, definitely. It's the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
Indeed, it is. Another piece of sound I want to get to real quick on defense is Jalen Gilbo, because, of course, there was a lot of talk of, well, where's Gilbo going to play? He's going to play star. He's going to play corner. Well, Jalen Gilbo, Marcus, is betting on himself in the same way Jahdae Barron bet on himself, making the move from star to outside corner. Here is Jalen Gilbo talking about why he made the move to corner.
I talked to Coach McKenna and I talked to Coach O about moving outside. I wanted to just show like everybody that I can cover. You know what I mean? That was the most important thing. I was in the box half of the time at nickel, so I just wanted to prove myself and show everybody that I can cover at corner too.
Really love the way these guys are embracing the challenge. And again, Jalen Gilbo is another guy who I don't think you think about him in the same realm as Jahdae Barron, or maybe, you know, hardcore Texas fans do, but I don't think the average fan, I don't think the broader college football fan thinks of him in the same realm as Jahdae Barron. But you got to remember, this is a kid who started over Jahdae Barron when he first arrived at Texas in terms of at the star position. He has all of the physical tools, all of the traits, hell of an athlete. He's not going to get outrun by anybody out there, I'll tell you that for sure. There's no speed burner in the SEC that he can't run with. And it's going to be really interesting to see how that battle shapes up to play opposite of Manny Muhammad. I know defensive coordinator Pete Kukowski, when I asked him, he said all jobs are up for grabs, but you know Manny Muhammad is going to be there at his spot at corner. And to see how Jalen Gilbo emerges and take on that challenge, that is going to be huge, because he's going to be pushed by guys like Kobe Black and Warren Roberson, and iron sharpens iron. I think that's the biggest thing you can take away from here. But Jalen Gilbo betting on himself, hoping to have similar results the same way Jahdae Barron did, in earning a Thorpe Award and becoming an NFL first-round pick. We'll be back. Morning Kickoff, AM 1300 The Zone. World's strongest man, Mark Henry, Hardball Hardge, Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports pinch hitting for the fellas. We'll be back in a moment.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas. T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And listen, starting Monday, to win your way there.
The 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival is brought to you by Metro. With their new lower prices, the celebration starts way before the festival. Big savings so you can focus on your favorite artist, not your phone bill. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Only one lane is open due to a crash on I-35 northbound at Wells Branch Parkway. You're backed up for a 45-minute delay starting from Breaker Lane, and hazmat crews were called to the scene here, which is part of the reason why it's taking so long to clear out of there. Over on Mopac northbound, watch out for a stalled vehicle in the right lane at Windsor Road. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Ice Cube and the Big Three are coming live from Houston this Saturday starting 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS and Vice. Physical and fiercely competitive 3-on-3 basketball. With only 2 weeks to go, Miami, Detroit, Dallas, and Boston are tied for first place, and LA and Chicago are knocking on the door a game out. Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Corey Brewer, Greg Monroe, Glenn Rice Jr., Gary Payton, Nick Young, Montrezl Harrell, and more fight to win the Dr. J Championship Trophy. Big Three live on CBS and Vice this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Need better sleep? This Labor Day weekend, upgrade to premium sleep at Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Let their sleep experts match you with a perfect bed and get the rest you deserve. They make sleep easy.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure. Dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Continental tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Continental test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
It is the morning kickoff here on AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge. Last day of his well-deserved vacation. Hardge will be back on Monday. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry. He is off in New Jersey at SummerSlam making that money. So they have left the keys. They left the keys to the house to hope that we don't burn it down. Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports. Of course, Marcus Spears, as always, hold everything down on the ones and twos. It does feel Marcus a little house party vibes, right? Like, you know, we left us the crib, might throw a little party here.
Yeah, sneak a few friends over, have a little fun, have a little get together.
Marcus, which was your favorite house party?
You talking a movie?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with the original, the first movie. That was my favorite. Especially the dance scenes.
Yeah. I know, and this may catch me some flack, you know, Hardge may hear this. Mark may hear this on Monday. So you can play it for him. May catch me some flack. I've seen all of them because my older brother and cousins, huge house party fans. But the last one, not the LeBron one, not the LeBron one. The LeBron one I didn't watch. But there was one, you may not remember this, Mark. It was House Party 4 Down to the Minute with IMX, with Omarion and all. See, Marcus, I knew Marcus. For those of you watching on YouTube, AM 1300, the Zone YouTube, you saw Marcus. For those of you listening, I'll have to describe it. Marcus just kind of put his head down. And I don't know if that's an ashamed feeling or what were you feeling there, Marcus?
It was shocking, but then it also is showing your age and also my age. The fact that it's like, oh yeah, they did create that movie, and he would love it because that fits right in his time frame.
It was, that movie came out in 2000, if memory serves me correct. So that's right when I'm like 10, 11. Yeah,
and yeah, Immature was
and IMX was they had a
run. That's about time they changed from Immature to IMX. You're right about that.
So
matter of fact, I had that album. Now that I think of it,
see, you over here hating on me because I'm sure
I like the music, but it was like, come on, House Party. I would have let you go with House Party 3.
Okay, but I know, like I said, I'm sure Marcus, you will clip this and you will play it for Hardge and Mark, and I'm sure I will get roasted for it. But back to Texas football. I want to kind of continue the conversation from last segment. Of course, we have not talked about Arch Manning, and one of the more underrated things about Arch Manning and whatever level, whatever modicum of success he will have this year, and maybe I shouldn't say underrated, underreported, but it just feels like all the talk is Arch is the Heisman favorite and he's the savior. Those boys up front going to play a big factor in whatever level of success Arch Manning has this year, and Arch's blind side will be protected by Trevor Gooseby, who Texas fans got a little bit of a glimpse of last year when he filled in for Cam Williams, filled in for Kelvin Banks when both those guys went down with injury and there had to be some shuffling on the offensive line. Definitely got a chance, and listen, that's not normal. I know I said this yesterday, but it's not normal to have your first real experience come against a Shamar Stewart, a Michael Williams, right? So you don't want to say that set the bar, because there may be, peaks and dips and things of that nature. But overall, I think Gooseby is going to be maybe not, a all conference guy immediately, Marcus, but I think he's going to do an excellent job protecting Arch Manning. And here is Trevor Gooseby talking about the responsibility of protecting Arch Manning.
I mean, I got to protect my guy. He's I would say he's one of the prized possessions of our team, especially. So, as an O-line, as a whole, we all got to protect him. We got to protect our running backs, and and we essentially got to protect our receivers. If we protect our quarterback can get it to the receivers, and boom, explosive plays. So,
do you think the offensive line will have different strengths this year than last year?
I think so. We're just a whole new O-line. I feel like we just. We have a new identity. 4 starters are gone, so we have to really, really come together and find out our identity and who we are as an O-line. So I think so.
You heard Trevor Gooseby say, "Got to protect the prize possession," and there's no doubt that the prize possession of the 2025 Texas Longhorns is Arch Manning. For all the talk I've laid out there about the defense and Anthony Hill Jr. and Colin Simmons. And we'll come to Colin in a second. I'm going to play another piece of sound from Trevor here in a second. But for all of the things that this defense can do, Marcus, and I firmly believe that this defense can be the level of Georgia over the past few years. And no one's going to confuse Stetson Bennett with some, all-world quarterback, right? So, sure, maybe in a worst-case scenario, if Arch Manning were to miss time and you had to go to a backup or had to go for a third stringer, I'm sure this defense could get you through for a few games, maybe get you through even a big-time game like a SEC title game or a college ball playoff game. You don't want to tempt fate. You don't want to put that to the test, Marcus. You want Arch Manning to be available for as many games as possible, especially considering the fact that in Steve Sarkisian's tenure, Texas football has had to go to a backup in every single game, Marcus. So just what goes through your mind when you hear him take on that responsibility, saying, hey, I got to protect the prized possession of this team?
Yeah, that is the most important thing, is to protect your quarterback, and everything falls in place if you protect Arch. Arch can make plays. Receivers can make plays. The running game gets going. Everything falls in place. I always say, if you got to have those bodyguards up front to protect your quarterback and to create for your running game.
One of the things we talked about yesterday was that battle at right tackle, right, with Andre Kojo and Brandon Baker and Steve Sarkisian, and not coincidentally, kind of saying that, hey, we want to shape these guys by having them face Colin Simmons, by facing Ethan Burke, by facing Anthony Hill Jr. I want you to hear Trevor Gooseby talk about just Colin Simmons and what it's like to go up against him in practice, and just the fact that, listen, guys, like, the best way for this Texas football team, especially the offensive line, is Trevor talked about trying to carve out their own identity for new starters. They're going to face a front four or front seven that, quite frankly, may be better than any other front four or front seven they may face during the season. So let's hear Trevor Gooseby talking about facing Colin Simmons.
Man, Colin's he's a real problem. Yeah, I feel like every time I go out, I'm guarding him in basketball, and it's tough. He's just a super athletic person. Just, he can rush the quarterback for sure.
How's he developed?
He's really developed a lot. He's really put a lot of moves in his bag, and he's going to be a really, really good player for us. So.
And it's also interesting, real quick, just to hear Trevor talk about, whether it's competing against Colin Simmons on the football field or basketball. Because listen, the Goosebees have a basketball background. Of course, Austin Gooseby, a prominent recruit. That Sean Miller, who was out at Texas football practice, Marcus, maybe Sean Miller was wanting to talk to Trevor Gooseby, saying, hey, you want to drop that note for your brother? Come play for me. Because they certainly are in need of talent on the hardwood, young talent. But it's interesting to hear Trevor say that, because that is a team that's a family that has a basketball background. But to hear Trevor talk about, hey, Colin competes at everything, right? That also just it strikes a chord with me, Marcus.
Well, you know what also strikes a chord is the fact that practice Gooseby's facing Collins on a daily basis,
right?
And if this offensive line is being challenged by that defense, front seven, SEC games may seem easy compared to what's going on in practice, especially if they're going full force.
That's the point right there. Like, when you look at this schedule, of course, you're going to have the Ohio States of the world, going to have the Georgias of the world. You're going to have, Texas A&M, right? They're going to want payback. You're going to have Arkansas, teams like that, who, whether if it's a traditional rivalry or just sheer talent on the field, they're looking to bring it to you. But Mississippi State, Vandy, Kentucky, no disrespect to those programs, there's nothing that those teams can pose that Texas football hasn't seen in practice, in my mind, Marcus. That aspect is huge. And especially, just real quick, one last thing before we go to break, with some of the things the offensive line has faced over the past few years, they should have the confidence in themselves that they can face anything, right? You can't throw different stunts, different looks. You're going to see it in practice being molded and reared by arguably one of the best front fours and front sevens in college football. We'll be back in a moment. Of course, got to get to the world's strongest take from the world's strongest man. It's coming up next. Morning Kickoff, AM 1300 The Zone.
An update on the accident on I-35 northbound at Wells Branch Parkway, now just blocking off the entrance ramp, meaning all those main lanes are back open and speeds are starting to recover in the area. You're still backed up from Tech Ridge Boulevard, but not nearly as bad as it once was. There's also a stalled vehicle blocking off the center lane on the service road of 183 northbound at Montopolis. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Riata Ford in Manor has made it simple. Pick yours at riataford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Riata Ford in Manor has made buying a new Ford simple.
Time for your Live Nation concert update. Don't miss Billy Currington and Kip Moore at Moody Amphitheater at Waterloo Park August 2nd.
People are crazy.
Falling in Reverse at Moody Center August 13th. The Offspring with Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory at Germania Insurance Amphitheater August 24th. And Pecos and the Rooftops at Scoot In September 4th. Get tickets at livenation.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, a mix of sun and clouds. Could see a stray shower or storm for your Friday, a high of 98. Slight chance of rain tonight, a low of 76. Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny with highs in the mid to upper 90s.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The countdown to the NFL season is on while the pads are popping in camp. Get ready for the new season with iHeart, the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Jim Harbaugh, how you feeling?
Oh, so excited. It's the start of the year.
Shows like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
We are going to go through the best position battles of the 2025 training camp.
Breakouts, holdouts, and fantasy sleepers. Be the first to know. Search NFL and find your next preset now. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Texas Longhorns.
It is morning kickoff here on AM 1300
Nathan, and Mark. Are you ready? Eric, you know what time it is? Tell me what time it is, Mark. It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. Marcus, stay all on me. Today's take is about the Hall of Fame game last night. Guys, Trey Lance is the topic. Trey Lance looked comfortable for the first time in his NFL quarterback life. He got drafted 3rd overall by the San Francisco 49ers and thrust into playing in a system that did not fit him. He was a sprint option, outside rollout quarterback that played under center in high school and in college. And he get to San Francisco, and they had Colin Kaepernick. They tried to put him in the pistol. They tried to have him be more of a runner. He's an athletic guy. He's a big and physically imposing guy, 6'5", 220 pounds. But he's not Cam Newton. He's not Colin Kaepernick. He is not a running quarterback. He got to be under center. The Cowboys gave up paid a 4th-round pick to San Francisco to get Trey Lance, and they brought him in, and instantly they put him as the backup in a competition where he was doing stuff that he wasn't used to doing. You know, like he wasn't a shotgun guy. He was an under center guy. And for him to be able to get the quarterback guru that he got in Coach Hardball, it changed a lot of things. You saw him operate under center so comfortably. 3-step drops, 5-step drops, 7-step drop, conventional, normal quarterback play. That's where he excels the most. I've never seen him more comfortable. I mean, at one point, he was 5 of 5. And when you get in a rhythm as a quarterback and you can drop back comfortably and know that the ball is coming out of your hand and it's going to this kind of from the West Coast style of quarterbacking, it benefited him a lot. I'm telling you, I think that the trajectory for Trey Lance now is that he will be a top-tier quarterback. And when I see his abilities, it reminds me more of Baker Mayfield. Come underneath the center, know where the ball is going, and if you have a problem, roll out to your right or your left, and you always have that hot route. Marcus, you got some sound. Play that sound for me.
Yeah, this is from Grant Cohn of Sports Illustrated.
The 49ers messed up. Trey Lance had his Chargers debut tonight in preseason, and he looked great. 13 of 20 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 114. Where was this when he was on the 49ers? I mean, he threw passes with touch down the field. When did he ever throw with touch on the 49ers? He completed passes over the middle with 3 defenders around the receiver. When did he ever do that on the 49ers? And on top of that, he looked confident. He looked happy. He was smiling. When did he ever smile on the 49ers? He looked depressed on the 49ers because they tried to turn him into something he's not. And they were never fully invested in him. They tried to turn him into Colin Kaepernick, which is strange because they didn't want Colin Kaepernick when they could have had him. I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan. They put him in the pistol. They had him running the zone read. They broke his leg. He's not that fast. You saw how Jim Harbaugh used him under center, play action, rolling left, rolling right, throwing on the run. That's what he's good at. It's what he did in college. It's what he wants to do. And you can see how happy he looks for the first time in his professional career. The Niners gave this guy away for a 4th-round pick. I'm not saying that he's better than Brock Purdy or that he should be starting for the 49ers, but they could have had him. They did have him. They didn't know what to do with him. They almost ruined his career, and now Jim Harbaugh is just giving him confidence.
Wow, Eric, that's what I was saying. Exactly, almost verbatim. What say you?
Mark, it's real interesting that you chose this for your World's Strongest Take, because that's actually something I'm really passionate about too. That being, and I'm curious your take on this, Mark. I firmly believe, and maybe this comes from my college football background covering college football, but I firmly believe more NFL teams mess up quarterbacks than develop quarterbacks.
Yep. And that guy is 25 years old. He's not old. It's not like he's 31 and he's just now starting to get it. San Francisco drafted him probably 3 years too early, just to be honest.
Right.
I mean, he was at North Dakota State, like an unbelievable program, but he was 20 years old, 19 years old. Like, where do you bring a kid into a locker room full of grown men and just think that he's going to materialize? It's hard to do. And then he goes to the Dallas Cowboys, and the pressure of, we want you to be Dak Prescott's heir apparent. You can't put that kind of pressure on a 21-year-old kid, 22-year-old kid. You got to develop them. And where's the quarterback guru that was on Dallas staff? I'll wait. You had Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, he's the luckiest quarterback coach in the history of quarterback coach. He went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Dak Prescott. Get out of here. So when you already have unbelievable quarterback play, it's easy to say, oh yeah, he's a good quarterback coach. He didn't do a good job developing Trey Lance. And now last night, it's a small sample size. Yeah, it's one preseason game.
Mark,
but he looked like Superman.
Yeah, just to add a quick final thought for me. Like I said, you don't have to, you touched on it, you don't have to rush every quarterback out there year one, game one of their career. Some guys are different. Some guys need time to develop. But that was an excellent World's Strongest Take from the world's strongest man himself, Mark Henry. We'll be back. Morning Kickoff, AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio, AM 1300, The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Cleanup is finished and everything is back open after an accident cleared on I-35 northbound at Wells Branch Parkway, but there is a new issue on I-35 southbound in Georgetown at Highway 29. The crash blocks off the left lane, causing a 5-minute slowdown from Austin Avenue. There's also an accident on Quinlan Park Road at 620. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at cmobile.com.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer.
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Girlfriends Jailhouse Lawyer, and listen now.
Looking for top quality permanent fencing for your home or business? Look no further than Viking Fence. With over 50 years of experience in Central Texas, Viking Fence delivers craftsmanship you can trust. Whether you need wood, iron, or a custom solution, Viking has the perfect fence to fit your needs. What sets Viking Fence apart? They source the finest quality Western red cedar lumber direct from the mill, the most durable and attractive fence material available. Plus, they offer 3 grades of fence pickets to meet every budget. So whether you want Viking to install your fence or you're taking on the project yourself, call Viking Fence today. They pride themselves on excellent work, outstanding service, and an honest reputation. Call 512-601-8911 for a free estimate. That's 512-601-8911. Or visit VikingFence.com/radio. That's VikingFence.com/radio for your free estimate today. When you think fence, think Viking.
The largest gun show in Texas is almost here. Exercise your Second Amendment rights next weekend at the 1500 Table Gun Show in Bryan College Station. Presented by Texas Gun Shows. August 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Legends Event Center in Bryan College Station. Texas Gun Shows will be holding the largest gun show in the state. 1500 tables, free parking. You don't want to miss this. 3 days only, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. That's gunshowstx.com.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
It is the morning kickoff. That music means only one thing. It's arguably my favorite segment of the show, Marcus, because not just because it's the end of the show, not that I don't enjoy doing the show, but it's just good vibes, man. It's just, it's the right note, the right tone to send you out into your day, Marcus.
Definitely. I feel like I'm about to go get it started in about a good 30 minutes from now.
No doubt about that. Morning kickoff.
Cut a rug.
Cut a little rug. Morning kickoff, AM 1300 The Zone. Hardball Hardge, the last day of his well-deserved vacation. World's strongest man, Mark Henry. As we mentioned, the man is always getting to the money. He is up in the great state of New Jersey, handling business, SummerSlam up there. So Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 Sports, flying solo here in this 8 a.m. hour. Appreciate Marcus, Cam, give me the opportunity. Marcus, Appreciate you for holding everything down. Give me the opportunity to sit in with y'all all week. It has been a lovely week, Marcus. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, definitely a great time. It's been fun. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, no doubt. No, just to close out the show, going to stay on the Texas football talk. Just going to kind of empty the notebook here as far as notes that we picked up from yesterday's availability. I know it had some people a little bit worried when they heard or saw, whether you heard it on AM 1300 Zone or you saw it on the interwebs, that right guard DJ Campbell and receiver Ryan Wingo were not at practice yesterday. Both of them are fine. Sources have confirmed to us it just was a personal matter that both of them were tending to, so do not read too much into that. But Parker Livingstone, Marcus, I know I've talked about him, several times this week, and the kid just looks like he's going to be a player out there. Mark talked about this Longhorn football team being 2 and 3 deep at several positions. And I think this is an example of it. I talked about this over on our flagship podcast at 24/7 Sports that I do with Chip Brown. If you have a chance to check it out, by all means, go ahead. But this receiver room, Marcus, a couple of years ago when it was Jonte Cook and Ryan Niblett and DeAndre Moore, it was like, why aren't these guys getting on the field? And one of the things we heard from Steve Sarkisian was, well, the veteran guys, A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Whittington, those guys have just earned my trust, and this feels in a way like it's an earn my trust type of year for the Khalid Lockett's, the Jamie French's, the Dalen McCutcheons of the world, the Aaron Butlers of the world. But Parker Livingstone's a guy I think is really making that push. Yesterday, he had a couple of really nice grabs, was getting strong praise from Sarkisian and Chris Jackson for his route running, saying that, hey, that catch would have been good. Even the NFL saying that, you got 2 feet down when you're right there on the boundary. Of course, only need 1 in college, but he's a guy who I genuinely think is making his push. DeAndre Moore Jr. going to head up that room. Of course, Ryan Wingo, when he returns, certainly going to be the, quote unquote wide receiver 1, and Emmett Mosley, the 5th coming from Stanford. But I really think Parker Livingstone, if you aren't, keep an eye on him. If you don't know that name, you need to know that name. QB2, that battle, Marcus, still stretching. It will still stretch on into the 2nd week and 3rd week of fall camp. It's been an up and down thing, and I think that's been the thing Steve Sarkisian, we talks about this team, especially quarterback, just looking for consistency. Trey Owens has all of the physical ability. It's just a matter of being consistent with certain passes. So at least during our media viewing window, we don't know what happens when we're not there, right? But during our window, Trey, one moment, all the talent in the world. Next moment, just got to get a little more consistency out of him. So you keep an eye between him and Matthew Caldwell with that push for QB2. We've talked about the running backs a ton, so certainly no need to re-emphasize that. But guys like Michael Terry, even talk about the wide receiver room, Michael Terry earning a little praise for his ability to track the football. Special teams going to be a factor, no doubt. Keep an eye on DeAndre Moore, Ryan Niblett, and Dalen McCutcheon in the punt return game, Marcus. So definitely a ton to keep an eye on there. And the last name I will give you there, I just wrote this story yesterday, so it's up on the site right now. Cole Brevard, Marcus, and I know, Bo Davis really endeared himself to Texas football fans with that strong, impassioned rant that, of course, was meant to be private, but it made its way public. Someone was recording on the bus after the Iowa State loss. That really endeared him to Texas football fans. A very pivotal moment in changing the culture, right? Guys who may have been okay with 5-7, may have been okay with losing to Iowa State. No, that changed. But Kenny Baker is a guy who I really hope Texas football fans get to hear more of, because he's just a fiery guy, not fiery necessarily in the same way Bo Davis is, but maybe impassioned, or passionate is a better word to use. You hear him talk about his room, his guys, you can tell he pours everything he has into them, Marcus. He cares. And most notably, he has a track record of success. You take a look at last year, molding Alfred Collins, molding Vernon Broughton, giving them some tools to help them become NFL draft picks. Doing that right now with Cole Brevard. Hearing him talk about Cole Brevard was only a nose tackle at Purdue, right? And he came to Texas and was like, all right, this is what I do. I'm 6'3", 350. I stuff the run. And Kenny Baker saying, no, we want to challenge you to do more, push you to do more, line up different techniques, a 2-eye technique, a 4-eye technique, which for those of you, maybe not the most football well-versed, it's just, if you're a nose guard, right, you're in that zero technique, you're lining up directly over the center. The different techniques, a 2-eye or 4-eye, just depends on you're lining up on the inside shoulder, maybe that guard or that tackle. Putting more tools in his toolbox, allowing him to do different things. Versatility, giving these guys the confidence, Marcus, to do different things. That, to me, is something you should really keep an eye on with not just Cole Brevard, but all of these defensive tackles, Marcus. And, you and I, as we get ready to close the show, we talk off air and we say, whether you're a football player or you're just in everyday life, the more tools in your toolbox, the more versatile you are, it can only help you.
Yes, definitely. The more things you can do, the more that's how you get on the field in football. In life in general, any job you have, that's how you get to show what you can do. Is you show you can do multiple things. You become more valuable in any facet of life. It's just the way it is.
And that's what you're seeing from this Texas football team. Brad Spence making the move full-time to edge, right? Steve Sarkisian talking about needed a little more depth that they wanted at edge. You get that. Trey Moore, him making the move to linebacker. You get versatility there. Even in Texas's base defense, it's not even really Anthony Hill as a Mike and Leon Galafau as kind of a weak side or strong side. That's not how it operates. It really is just kind of dependent upon the alignment and where these guys line up. So just seeing the versatility, seeing the confidence that this coaching staff has in this team to cross-train guys, Michael Taft working at star, Jalen Gilbo kicking outside. It's really a fascinating thing to watch, and you are seeing the foundation of it laid here in the first week of camp. Week number 2 coming up next week. The guys, that click-clack, as Mark likes to talk about, it's coming soon enough. They'll put the pads on under that Texas heat. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler. Maybe they'll practice in the morning. Take a little bit of stress off the guys. But folks, Texas football is indeed coming.
As long as they hydrate themselves, they'll be all right.
Gotta hydrate. Hey, there's plenty of water. There's no shortage of water and Gatorade out there on the 40 acres. They have that for sure. But thank you very much to Hardball Hardge, to Mark Henry for letting me sit in this week. Hardball Hardge will be back on Monday. World's Strongest Man will be back on Monday. And Marcus, thank you, sir, for holding everything down. AM 1300 The Zone, morning kickoff. Have a fantastic Friday, and I'll be back at my usual slot on Thursdays. Y'all have a great Friday and have a great weekend as well.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner